There are those who argue, who think if you're a single voter on crypto, that this could lose her the election if she doesn't come out and embrace it. Look, Trump was all for the not taxing tips. Now she's all for. Do you think she will ultimately embrace crypto as an industry?
I predict her verbiage will. And I do think that part of the reason why is you see Trump's speech at the Bitcoin conference. It's just a matter of competing for votes that she's going to adopt a thoughtful position. Now, speaking as an American, not from a partisan perspective, I think that's a good thing. I think we should want great debate in the marketplace of ideas. Even if she offers a thoughtful digital assets framework or policy, even if I don't agree with all of it, I think that'll be a good thing for the country. But what I challenge Kamala Harris to do is not just cite the pieties and the words. Go into detail. Say what you actually believe about self-custody of assets. Say what you actually believe about whether you think Gary Gensler should continue as the leader of the SEC. So I think those specifics are going to matter a lot, Kelly.
For sure, but is what you're saying is just a general position of openness is probably all the industry really is looking for. This idea that it's not a partisan issue, that Republicans are for it and Democrats are against it.
It should not be a partisan issue. Now, what I think you are seeing is this tendency to really embrace whatever wins her the most votes. But when you're looking at your question, Andrew, of how do you assess the seriousness of that, the metric to use is how specific she actually gets on those policy proposals.
I think if you take the ETFs out of the picture, the price of Bitcoin is like 20 grand, because it was 30 when BlackRock filed. It started to go up because, BlackRock's coming in. Then they launched. There was a little sell the news, but it hung tough. Now it went up a lot because of the flows. You unwind all that, you're at 30K, but you still have Mt.Gox and some of these other in Germany, and who's there to buy it? So I think the ETFs should be seen as nothing short of a godsend, to be honest with you. And I know Bitcoin has other things going on for it. I read up a lot about it, and I think it's a fascinating currency, secure way to store value. And I'm definitely intrigued. That said, pure price, I think that the ETFs really came at the perfect time, to be honest with you.
What impact do you see cryptocurrencies having on the broader stock market?
So to me, cryptocurrencies are the best reflection of what I learned all those years at the Fed are called animal spirits. So to the extent that the cryptocurrency market is behaving well, that you're going to see buoyancy in the stock market. I really do think it's that simple. I'm a superficial economic financial market historian. Every single time the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates, the stock market has finally turned tail. And that's always how it's worked. There's been no exceptions to that rule. So I don't think cryptocurrency is a reflection or a matter of inflation or deflation. I think it is a reflection of people having continued risk appetites because everything in their portfolio is doing nicely. Lending chatter has dried up with good reason. We get quarterly revisions with a very long lag time. The most recent that we got showed that rather than 640,000 jobs being created in 2023's third quarter, that there were in fact 192,000 jobs destroyed. But it does indeed look like we're in a situation similar to that, where we'll see probably October be backdated by the National Bureau of Economic Research. Their business cycle dating committee took exactly 366 days to date the recession that began in December of 2007. So because of all the noise introduced in the post-pandemic environment, it could easily take them a solid year again to be able to backdate the recession. But from all the evidence that we've seen, it does look like recession began in October of 2023.
Will AI transform the way that companies do business? And what does that mean for workers? And what does that mean for employers?
Well, I think AI already has transformed the way that business is conducted in America, especially when companies are dealing with recession. They're going to look to whatever the latest technology happens to be to help them really protect their profit margins. There's going to be a much happier ending to AI. It's going to revolutionize the efficiency of healthcare. But I would say in the nearest term, call it the next 6 to 18 months, AI is going to be, or it's at least going to feel like a weapon of mass destruction, because it's going to be wielded for the purpose of cutting costs.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok and this channel. Subscribe, like, and spread it everywhere. And now we have politics inside of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Bitcoin and crypto get to decide the president. Yes, guys, you can't make this stuff up. Remember, Bitcoin was supposed to replace the banks and get rid of these politicians. Now the banks control Bitcoin and crypto, and the politicians get to control the narrative. And we have spot Ethereum ETFs came at the right time. Guys, do you think that's by coincidence? Remember, this is all planned out. And we are in a recession. Yes, guys, we've been in a recession. We're in a great depression right now. All you have to do is look at all these bankruptcies, the amount that are on these credit cards, the layoffs. And she gave us the truth about AI. It's the weapon of mass destruction because it's about cutting costs. And guys, we know if you're cutting costs, you're laying off. She doesn't talk about the fourth industrial revolution. We know she's on CNBC because we clearly know when it comes to these crypto assets, when it comes to these machines, it's all for the fourth industrial revolution. You can control the whole economy without a human involved. And we have Google adds AI to its software, and Google has been using AI tools forever. But if you look and see how social media is using these tools, they're taking all the information from these posts, making paragraphs and giving you a synopsis of what it's about. So guess what? If I'm an alphabet guy, I don't have to no longer go through all these comments. I can look right at this paragraph and know what's going on. Know the mindset of these people and what they're interested in. So therefore, I can give them what they want, or I can trigger them on what they don't like. Remember, the Hegelian dialectic is not going anywhere in the fourth industrial revolution because that's how they stay in control. The divide and conquer. And these bots will be able to divide you even more. And these bots use as customer service tools. They haven't even turned on the supercomputers yet. Believe me, they'll know the answer before you even ask it. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
The SOM rule, named for its creator, former Fed economist Claudia Sahm, is a trusted indicator of economic downturns. It identifies recessions when the 3-month average national unemployment rate rises by a half percentage point or more relative to its low during the previous year. While the rule has been triggered,
was two really big things. First, we talked all about Gemini and how we're trying to get it across our whole mobile ecosystem. Try to get it to every Android device where there's just billions of people that could take advantage of the power of AI and the helpfulness. And then the other part of it was around announcing our new Pixel lineup of phones.
Right. And so leaving Pixels aside, right, you said at the top of the keynote, it's all about AI.
That's right.
What did we get that was different? How is it different than what we saw a few months ago with, say, Project Astra? How should we think about these different AI offerings?
Yeah, I think, well, at I.O. we announced Project Astra and a number of new technologies and research items we're working on. Today, we were focused on things we're about to ship that are shipping in the next few weeks, which is really exciting. So we gave live demos of a lot of capabilities. We showed Gemini live with real conversations with people on stage, and it's amazing. I mean, it's a new capability that allows you to have a true conversation with AI. It's awesome if you want to brainstorm something, if you want to learn something new, and have someone you can talk with. It's just like a great capability.
The Biden administration has unveiled a new multi-agency regulatory plan to target corporate practices that officials claim waste consumers' time and burden them with red tape. As part of the plan, the CFPB will be looking into when the use of automated chatbots and automated AI voice recordings break the law, including situations where customers think they're speaking to an actual person. Joining us right now is Rohit Chopra. He's the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Good morning to you. How is this going to work, and how much freedom should companies have as it relates to putting you on the phone with a real person versus putting you on the phone with an AI bot?
Well, I think we're going to see companies do all of the above. I think one of the core of what we are trying to do with this set of actions is note something real that's happening in the economy. Investors are rewarding companies for, number one, shifting to subscription models, and two, trying to find ways to lower those costs. But here's the problem. We see that those subscriptions can become sometimes impossible to cancel. And we also see that those customer service cost reductions often lead to chaos for consumers. So we are trying to make sure that it is easy and simple to cancel those subscriptions, a click-to-cancel model, and the FTC is working on a rule for that. And at the CFPB, we're trying to make sure that when you are talking to a chatbot or if you are navigating some sort of phone tree, you aren't sent into customer service oblivion, and you actually can get the answers when you need to. So we're talking to a lot of people about how can we get this right, because consumers are sick and tired of all of this runaround.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction; it was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.